I just really like that whole trajectory, especially for me and Enzo's character, is like how he went through this whole thing with, you know, switching humanity out again and falling in love with her and all that. I just thought it was a beautiful little journey. And we worked really hard and rehearsed a lot and really wanted to make that as real as possible. So, proud of that stuff. There's also a scene that I did in series, season 7, with a sword fight with Julie in the woods. I guess I just like the woods. It was really cool. Grew up in the woods, makes sense. We just did that whole fight ourselves. You know, we've both done a lot of stage combat before, so we just rehearsed it out of that, got it up to scratch. And then obviously our stunt doubles had also rehearsed and had gotten everything up to speed for them. And we didn't need them, which was cool. But we let them do it once because otherwise they wouldn't have gotten paid. So I found that out. I was like, okay, cool, give them a shot. But yeah, they just used that stuff, which was awesome. You know, it was a proud moment, I suppose, for both of us. So yeah, those are two came to mind. We're going over here now.
Hi, my name's Hannah.
Hi, Hannah.
I was wondering, during one of the last seasons, when everyone was kind of like on the run from the vampire hunter, they were giving Bonnie those pills to keep her alive, but they ended up like killing her anyways. What were those? Like, what was
It's birth control. I don't know. I honestly don't know. It was something to like stunt her magic or something so she couldn't be tracked, right? Memory serves, yeah. It's been a long time. It's been a real long time. I can't quite remember. I mean, what the actual pills were? I have no idea. They're probably just like vitamin or something. We don't. Forgot about that stuff. Yeah, good memory. Good memory. Yeah, not that. No, I would have at least gone out with a bang, you know, a little more of a fight. But, well, what's the thing is, you know, what a little aggressive. But yeah, I mean, for me, generally speaking, I don't really question too much the story and the scripts. You know, it's just kind of my job to come in and deliver what I'm given, make it work. And you know, there's a lot of people, obviously, that are devastated with that ending, and rightly so. You know, it was meant to be tragic. But for me, I don't think we all deserve a happy ending, per se. You know, I think it showed how someone deals with grief, and also how the people that pass on in our life are still there, actually, if we listen. And so I thought it was kind of a tragic beauty to that story in a certain way. But yeah, it did suck. I get hired most of the time to die. That's just my I suppose.
Hi there, I'm Joe. My wife and I love Enzo, so thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
So my question is, who is your favorite person to work with and why?
Myself, because it was Kat, hands down. She's a class act. I mean, you know, and like I said, we put in the work. We used to get to set ahead of the time for big scenes, especially, and plot stuff out. We try different blocking and work on things like, because in TV, you know, you rarely have time for any of that. You know, you turn up. Often the directors say, all right, you come in here, you do that, and that happened to us a couple times. We're like, hang on, wait. We're artists, we have brains, and we have ideas about the scene too. I'd love to at least try them. And so we thought, you know, in order to kind of get around that, would be if we came in and had a really strong idea of what we thought should be happening in the scene. And so, you know, we ended up doing a lot of our own blocking for a lot of the big scenes, and I think both of us found that to be really rewarding. You know, I know we're both proud of all that work we did together. You know, we stay in contact. So, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jada Lynn, and I was wondering if you had a chance to be another character on the show, who would it be?
So sparkly. I love it. Shine. I saw a bumper sticker once. I'm going to answer your question in a second if I can remember it. I saw a bumper sticker once that said, "Fucking shine anyway." It's important to remember, you know, life is hard. Don't let it squelch the joy and curiosity that you have. Shine anyway. What's your question? Oh, any other character? Probably Stefan, actually. I just think I would have played that really well. He played it great, but you know, you guys. But also, he was like the #1 vampire to me. And I recently did a show called Project Blue Book. Anybody see it? No? Yeah? A couple of you? Best thing I've ever done. If you like my work, you should check it out. Anyway, so I was in from the beginning. I was #2 on the call sheet. Me and Aiden Gillen, you might know, it's Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. I've seen that show. And when you are one of the main casts and you're starting a show, you are kind of part of the whole creation process, setting the tone and everything. I do love that. I love collaborating and working with people who have, you know, strong, brilliant ideas, bouncing them off of each other. And I felt like very much a part of that process, especially because the showrunner, Sean Jablonski, is just such a great fucking dude. Still a dear friend to this day. So yeah, I think being a part of that flagship series and helping to set that tone would be fun. Would have been fun. This is fun. Hi.
Hi, my name's Casey, and what was the funniest blooper that happened to you?
Blooper. Oh. Okay. Kind of a diva moment. I'm not a diva, but it was the sword fighting scene. That's fresh in my brain, so this just jumped in. So we're doing a scene, and we practiced with real stuff. And on the day, the one sword I was supposed to have was like this hard plastic. Because they were like, we can't let you use the heavy steel thing or whatever for the thing. And I was like, okay. And I kept breaking this thing because we're doing it properly. It just kept looking flappy and flimsy, and I had a moment where I just threw it on the floor, and I was like, I can't work like that. Typical diva statement. I mean, I don't think I said it exactly like that, but I was like, you guys, if you want this to work, I need the real stuff. He's fine with it, I'm fine with it. Who are you protecting? You know what I mean? Eventually they caved in and let us do it and crushed it. But yeah, I don't know if it's quite a blooper moment, but seeing the Russian with my sword just flapping about, and me trying to hold it together and getting more and more angry. But yeah. Sometimes they're overprotective with the actors. I mean, rightly so, in certain ways. Health and safety has to come first, obviously. But here's another story from a different show. I did this pilot for a series that was going to be called The Selection. And I was playing the Prince, the main character. And I had to ride a horse. And so I was there early. I was doing horseback riding lessons, dance lessons, fight stuff. It was all period, but futuristic dystopia type thing, you know, the drill, Hunger Games, shit, that kind of thing. Anyway, so I had to ride this horse. I'm getting to grips with it, and you know, I'm only able to walk to a certain degree. It's like starts to pick up pace a tiny bit, and then they're like, okay, that's all you're allowed to do. It's like, well, what if the horse like balks on the day? Like, shouldn't I learn how to ride it when it's cantering? And they were like, no, Warner Brothers won't let me do that for health and safety. I was like, okay. What happens on the day? I'm on the top of this giant hill in the snow in Budapest. Last scene of the night. We've got 10 minutes to get this in the bag. Now here's the scene. I'm on my big white stallion, the prince. I've got 10 henchmen, all in black, you know, black horses. And what's my nemesis is at the bottom of the hill, right? Guy who is actually in love with the girl I'm in love with. And I want to teach him a lesson. So I send my dudes down the hill. They run down the hill with their horses, and they're supposed to beat him senseless. And I walk the horse down the hill, turn to the side, sneer at him, and then walk off. It's not what happened. So I get up there. I haven't ridden this horse all day. The horse has been doing laps, looking more and more irritable in the snow, getting ready to perform. It's an actor horse. And anyway, I get up there. None of the trainers I've worked with are present. It's two different people. They're Hungarian. They don't speak English. And I'm trying to communicate to them. The stirrups are too low. Trying to get them fixed. They're yelling action as this thing is happening. So the other guys go. All my henchmen run down the hill. My horse goes. And I'm like, shit. Pull on it, stops, you know, and then eventually it just takes off down the hill too. It's running. I've never ridden on a horse when it's going faster than I walk. And my ass is thumping on and he's going the wrong way. So the camera's here, it's a giant hill. I'm going down the other side. So they have no idea where I am. They're still screaming, action, action! It's my character's name. When they finally see me, I'm like walking back up the hill on the horse, like sweating. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's like, trying to explain what happened. And then they're like, sorry, just bring it around, come down, do the thing, get it. But yeah. That was, I have a tear in my head today. I think it's actually from that. Didn't know at the time. I don't know if I'm past the statute of limitations, but I don't know. Maybe I could recoup some dough. Horses, though, man. Majestic animals. Love them. They're so smart. And they know that motherfucker doesn't know what he's doing. He wanted to teach me a lesson. Anyway.
Hi, if there is one, what is your most enjoyable line that your character has said? On the spot.
It's hard on the spot, yeah, because we're talking 10 years ago, right? Been that long? There's one I liked, couldn't answer the phone because the touch screen was covered in blood, something like that. The touch screen wouldn't work, yeah. The phone was covered in blood, the touch screen wouldn't work. Yeah, like that. Bringing in some modern shit. I actually really loved how Enzo didn't know much about modern things. And I tried to incorporate that a bit more because sometimes the writers would, in a way, kind of take that for granted. Like, all of a sudden they're using like street words and stuff like that. I wanted to always maintain this sense of like he was a bit confused and disgusted by the modern world, you know. There was a scene where he's at a party, and someone's going around with a tray of Jello shots, and I'm like, he wouldn't know what a Jello shot is. Pick it up. And I added this myself. I was like, he's not gonna know what to do. So I go. And I thought that was, you know, that makes sense to me. Like, how would he know how to take a Jello shot? Anyway, I'll have a Jello shot after this guy.
My
My name's Lexi, and I was wondering if there was a way you could change how you die on the show, how would you change it?
Pretty cool. Dying a loving embrace. Hands around each other's necks. Y'all would love that. You would hate it. I don't know. What about you? Do you have a different idea for my demise?
No, I just know I cried a lot and died.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
My best friend, who cast is the top two.
Pardon? Who do I still talk to? I don't not talk to anyone. You catch my drift. Well, it is cool. I mean, look, I don't talk to a lot of people anyway. I got 2 kids, you know, I got no free time. But Matt Davis lives close to me, so we connect. I see the other guys pretty much just when we're on the road doing these things. Trevino and I keep connected. We did a short film together actually. And the rest, you know, there's no beef, but we just don't stay connected really. Yeah. And Kat connected too.
Hi. First of all, absolutely.
Don't tweet that shit. You don't know. No, come on. Don't read into it.
Hi. I'm Alice. First off, absolutely love you and very convincing accent.
Thanks.
My question is, how was like your vibe and energy with Ian Osprey? Were you guys like friends, frenemies, anything like that?
Friends with benefits. We were quite romantic, without the kinky stuff. No, he's how can you not love him? He's adorable and the sweetest guy. He cares so much about people and always made sure to make time for me. And you know, he was definitely a champion of my work. He was like, you guys got to keep this guy, and we hit it off immediately. You know, the first scenes we did in the Cell episode. It's just this thing when you meet someone who's on the level, just you don't have to try, and we just had that kind of connection immediately. So, yeah, he's a good dude. Shame I won't see him on this trip. I think he's coming tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Kayla, and I was wondering if you auditioned for any other roles besides Enzo.
I did, actually. So season 5, I've recently finished that selection pilot I was telling you about with the horse thing. And I got an agent in LA for that. I was living in England at the time, in the UK. So having an agent from that meant that I was all of a sudden doing a bunch of self-tapes, which was initially so stressful. You know, I gotta get a camera, I gotta get it right, you know. And so the first kind of wave of auditions I started getting was for a lot of shows like this, but also for February. So the first 2 auditions I had were for the role of Jesse, which was played by Kendrick Sampson, and Aaron, which was played by Sean Seapos. He was like Dr. Maxwell's nephew or something. I ended up eating him. But yeah, the third one was for a role called Eli, whose name got changed to Enzo. So the third audition was for an actual vampire. And you know, I had that in my head. I was like, I'd be on the show, got to be a vampire. Come on, it's ridiculous. And yeah, I mean, initially, one of the audition scenes, fun fact for you, he was in the cell with Catherine. And the scenes I did where I was recounting how I died were like in a war situation. So it'd been, I think he was a soldier actually, but we never talked about it too much, I don't think, on the show. Did we? No, not really. Nobody knows. You haven't seen the show, have you? Yeah, and yeah, it just kind of morphed into Enzo and slightly different. I mean, I heard in an interview I did with Julie and Brett, one of the writers, they said he was initially going to be the third Salvador brother, which was kind of a cool thing. I was like, I wonder how that would have turned out. But I really liked the fact that he was slightly removed, had his own thing going on. I was trans, bit of a renegade. It's a fun character to play. I really did have a blast playing Enzo, so I'm thrilled that it's connected with so many of you. Very humbling, so thank you.
Hi, I'm Avery. I wondered, how'd you react when you learned that you got the role of Enzo?
Man, okay. So I was working at a rock and roll bowling alley in London, and yeah, I started doing these on-tape auditions, and I knew I was circling this role, that I was like in the running, and so there's a couple shifts, a couple days, I was kind of half expecting a phone call to tell me, no, you haven't got it, pretty much. I always think I haven't got it. Every tape I put out, no, you know, I have to forget about it. Anyway, I got the call, I was like, oh, just watch my tables. I ran to the back, went to the staff toilet, the nasty staff toilet, straddling like Bob, you know, with a phone, you know, telling me, you know, I got the job. I'm hooting and hollering in the staff toilet. Well, because also I just knew my life was really about to change. You know, I was about to have to move back to America for a bit. I've been gone for years. And yeah, I was also excited because I've been wanting to get into more screen stuff. I've done a lot of theater up to that point. And so it was, yeah, it was a massive moment, and I was very excited. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and I was wondering if you could write your own script or own scene, what would it be and who would be in that scene?
For anything, anywhere, anytime.
Anywhere.
God, that is a hard question. Maybe I resurrect Philip Seymour Hoffman and put him in a movie with Paul Newman. I don't know. And Nate. I don't know. That's a really, I'd have to sit down and think about it. You want me to do that? No, I'm not going to do it. Thank you. Yeah. What about you? See, it's a hard question. Yeah.
I have love scenes with you.
I missed the trick. That's my answer. Come on, brother. Let's go. Go for a joyride. Make our point. Hi.
Hi, I'm Lisa Marie, and I was just wondering, is there anything you feel like people misunderstand about Enzo or something that you really people do?
It's a really good question. I don't think I've ever been asked that before, so thank you. I'm going to give a bit of a cop-out answer because I feel like Julie and I had a wonderful relationship. I adored the writers on that show we were working too, and I feel like there was a real effort to show you why Enzo's doing what he's doing so you can empathize with it. And for a while it wasn't the case. In season 7, I feel like is when we really got to understand who he was beyond the whole captivity thing and love lost thing, whatever. think it really kind of, it didn't work for me in a way. You're only as good as the scripts you get. You can only show as much as you can with the words you're given. So, I think you guys understand it. I mean, that's why you're sitting here, right? I mean, I think it was quite apparent what drove him. And I just think he had a really strong moral compass, and he didn't like bow to anybody. And I think that's just really what I respected about him and myself. Yeah, I guess that's my answer. Thanks.
Hi, I was wondering, did you get to keep any props at all, and what was that item?
I kept some clothes, definitely a lot of black socks. Well, at the end of the series, final end of the series, us regulars, they let us go into the wardrobe warehouse, and all of our characters' stuff was lined up on these rows with hangers. And they were like, go ahead and look through. If we have doubles of anything, you can take them. If there's only a single one, they have to archive it. So I went through and got like stuff that I would never buy, like John Barbados, like spends hundreds of dollars on a t-shirt, you're an idiot if you do. And some of the jackets and stuff, you know, like, I never spend that kind of money on those kind of clothes. So I definitely had like a whole cool wardrobe for a while until I had children and my body changed forever. It happens, right? When you're a dad. I know, it's the joke.
Hi.
Hey.
I was just wondering, you know how Enzo comes like in the middle of the series?
Yeah.
Did you watch the episodes, or were you a fan of Vampire Diaries before he came?
This is a trick question. Put me in the shit. I did a lot of catch up, we'll say. So I was living in England at the time. I maybe heard of the show. I'd never seen it when I booked it. And so, yeah, when I first flew to Atlanta, I was like, yo, please give me all the DVDs. So I watched seasons 1, 2, and 3. And then I got kind of busy, so I don't think I've ever seen 4. But I saw 1, 2, and 3. It's just because, you know, it's important to understand the tone of the show. So yeah, I did some research, for sure. Yeah. It's funny though, because they gave me the screener copies, which didn't have the final effects. So when there were things that happened, like someone falling, you'd see the string. It was actually kind of cool. I still have it. It's quite a cool thing to have, actually. You know, where they haven't done all the extra stuff they do to make it look real, you know?
In addition to being fun and adventurous, you seem to kind of have a soulful and reflective side. I'm wondering if you follow any particular authors or teachings. How do you keep your sense of true north living in the woods?
Yeah. Respect. I read a lot. I mean, I've always been fascinated with the human condition. And, you know, I've read so many, I mean, I can't even know where to start, you know, like stuff from psychoanalysis to Buddhist writings to Hunter S. Thompson, who was a very early inspiration of mine. But yeah, I think reading changes you. Movies do too, but reading, you're an active participant in what you're reading, and I don't know where I'm going with this, but also like, look, I've traveled a lot too. And I think traveling and experiencing other cultures, ways of life, has just made me intensely empathetic to the fact that we're all here in this together, and there are a lot of more similarities than there are differences between any of us. I think when you read books about the human mind, the spirit, the psyche, and all that, you kind of make those connections. But it's hard to stay centered and grounded in this world we're in right now. It really is. You know, you're getting pulled every direction. You need to believe this, you need to vote for that person. This is bad, this is wrong. They're canceled. He's toxic. You know, all that stuff is just noise. It's noise. You got to block that out. You know, listen to it. You know, take the notes. See who's saying what. But if you haven't investigated who you are, you're just gonna become that. You're just gonna become what you eat. You are what you eat is not about food. It's about what information you're digesting. So I'd encourage everyone to be aware of that. Look, 360 degrees rotation about everything you're thinking about. See it from different channels, different aspects. I've lost my train of thought, but yeah.
Hi. What's your favorite hobby?
Being a dad. Is that a hobby? Let's talk about a hobby. No, but you know what? Let's just talk about that, because man, when you become a parent, I know there's tons of you out there. All of a sudden, you're looking in the mirror every day. You're face to face with your insecurities, with your shortcomings, your triggers, if you're a good parent, you know, and you're actually analyzing yourself at the same time, which we should, right? We should grow with them. And so I'm always grateful for the blessing of children that have made me become a better human. And it's hard as fuck, but it's awesome as well. Nothing good is easy. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Lauren, and so when you're in the cabin with Bonnie and she sets the fire and tries to see if it is safer to turn and move about that, would there have been anything else to have you turn it back on, or was it really just like
I'm trying to remember how I turned it off. What? Oh, yeah. I don't think so. She was the one for him, you know. I think he would have just been completely lost without this person. And, you know, I mean, he was strong in a way, but he was also deeply wounded and abandoned. And, you know, when you have issues like that, and I know we all know people that have issues like that, if we don't have them ourselves, we know how important it is to have a safe person. You know, I think he became a safe person. So, I don't know if it quite answers your question, but it's quite a cute thing to think about, so. Tough crowd. Thank you.
what was your favorite part of being
Being able to use a British accent. I've never been able to do it before. Actually, I did that pilot selection. So, sorry, now you don't have to film just because I'm doing my accent. But I was living in London at the time. I was playing a lot of mostly American roles, you know, and rarely given a chance to book a role with English. I would often not even be able to be seen and audition for something. So it was just this thing. It was like, oh my God, I actually get to be English now. And the thing is, everyone thought I was English. Even when I turned up. I mean, my accent also was very weird. You probably think it's weird anyway. because it's a kind of a mix of things. And, you know, I'm an internationalist. I've lived all over the world, but back then it was very Britishified. Yeah, Britishified. It's not the dictionary. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was kind of cool fooling everybody. But then I was starting to go to all these meetings, and everyone was confused that I was not English. And every time I would go to the other place, I wasn't American enough. It was like it just became this thing of like, I'm not from anywhere. Which was frustrating for a while, but now I know it. I'm a unique specimen, a rare orchid. Fuck you for trying to crowbar me into one of you.
Hi. Do you regret that Enzo was killed off and not able to get Bonnie, like her happy ending that she also deserved? And did you have any idea you were going to be killed off?
What's it all about her? Just play. I did know, actually, and bless Julie for doing this because you know she didn't have to, but she invited me out for a drink. One thing led to another, and she invited me out for a drink and just laid it out. She was like, "Look, you know, love and respect you, so I'm letting you know what's going to go down. This is what's happening, but you're being killed off, but you're still going to be on the show. You know, still get that paycheck." But she gave me the heads up, told me how it was going down, and prepared me for it. So, I mean, the worst thing that happens is you read a script, and all of a sudden you read that you're dying, you know, and nobody's informed you. Like, oh, it's just kind of getting used to being here, you know. So, yeah, she let me know beforehand. And, yeah. I think I answered the other part of the question earlier, a little bit. I touched on it. So. Hey.
Okay. What was your least and your favorite storyline of the series?
Okay. Least favorite storyline was season 6. I hated myself in season 6. I mean, I like the stuff with Sarah Salvatore that we started doing, and then it just kind of fell off, and I was like hell-bent on making Stefan's life a living hell. And I couldn't justify it. It's like, this is so petty. And I feel like, you know, why would my character just be doing that? It just seems so one-sided. And I'm not shitting on the writers or anything about this. Everybody's trying all different things, seeing what works. But yeah, I just found it really, really hard to justify Enzo's objectives in that part of the season. So that storyline I did like. Paul and I had a great time working together. But favorite. I can't think of. Let's see. It's season 7 really. And the stuff with the armory and going to his backstory and stuff like Lily, I really just appreciated having, you know, for people to know more about him, you know, as a chance to explore his beginning as a vampire, all that stuff. It's just a joy to go back there and restructure who he was in my head, you know, add more feathers. So anyway, I'm also a musician. If you doesn't know, I don't know if you checked out my music. Thank you. So I've got a new record that I just put out. It's an EP. It's called Future Tense. I'd love for you to check it out. I wrote all the music pretty much myself. Everything I do myself, I produce. I got a couple other guys that come in and do some bits, but yeah, if you feel like checking it out, I think you dig it. Good move to it, but it's also kind of intense. And you know, I'll be playing a few songs tonight at the thing. And also, make sure to check out a show called The Night Agent on Netflix. season 2 of that right now. So, thank you so much. You guys have been wonderful.